And it may kind of seem like Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders are on completely opposite sides of the political spectrum, but they've actually both been conveying a pretty similar message regarding trade. One America's Stephanie Myers tells us more about their similar stance on trade.
Throughout this election season, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders have continuously emphasized their outsider status to take on the Washington establishment. But that's not the only message they share in common. The business mogul and the Vermont senator have voiced their concerns over our nation's current trade deals. Trump has been an outspoken opponent against the Trade Promotion Authority, also known as the TPA, even issuing a statement warning the Senate against passing the bill in 2015. This is an issue Senator Sanders also had strongly objected, calling it a disaster for America.
This trade agreement was supported by virtually every major corporation in this country, the vast majority of whom have outsourced millions of jobs to low-wage countries all over the world. In my view, this trade agreement will continue the policies of NAFTA, CAFTA, permanent normal trade relations with China, agreements that have cost us millions of decent-paying jobs.
Speaking of NAFTA, or the North American Free Trade Agreement, that's one issue both Sanders and Trump have denounced for decades.
What you can do is you can negotiate fair trade agreements so that instead of billions and billions of dollars going out, you can reduce your taxes by having it come back in. And I know the best negotiators. I would put the right people in charge of negotiation. We've been ripped as a country by virtually every country we do business with.
Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I am introducing legislation today which would mandate, if NAFTA is passed, that our salaries in the House of Representatives be competitive with the Mexican Chamber of Deputies and be reduced to $35,000 a year.
And they both continue to criticize its existence while campaigning for the White House.
Secretary Clinton supported NAFTA. Instead of creating jobs, NAFTA cost us jobs, 850,000 jobs.
NAFTA was the worst trade deal in the history. It's like the history of this country.
Trump believes he can correct the nation's trade imbalances with his experience as a businessman. He says we need to have bilateral trade deals and better negotiators so our nation does not get ripped off by other countries. Sanders told his supporters he would enact a new set of trade policies. This brings us to the Trans-Pacific Partnership deal, with Donald Trump denouncing the TPP, saying it would hurt businesses here in the U.S. and put Americans out of work.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership is the greatest danger yet. The TPP, as it's known, would be the death blow for American manufacturing. It would give up all of our economic leverage to an international commission that would put the interests of foreign countries above our own.
Meanwhile, the Sanders campaign and Democracy for America, a progressive advocacy group, launched petitions on Wednesday calling on the Democratic Party committee to include anti-TPP language in its platform. This major split within the Democratic Party over the deal is a setback for President Obama since he continues to lobby for the TPP. Furthermore, both Sanders and Trump have slammed Hillary Clinton for supporting NAFTA and the TPP.
On the other hand, Secretary Clinton supported NAFTA. She supported permanent normal trade relations with China. Those agreements have cost us millions of jobs as a nation.
As Bernie Sanders said, Hillary Clinton voted for virtually every trade agreement that has cost the workers of this country millions of jobs.
During her time as Secretary of State, she referred to the Trans-Pacific Partnership as the gold standard. But Clinton has shied away her support over the TPP and stated that she opposes the deal. Currently, Trump's campaign is trying to convince Sanders supporters to back the presumptive Republican nominee because Hillary Clinton has already achieved the number of delegates needed to clinch the Democratic nomination. If Trump is able to sway Sanders supporters to his side, it will give Trump a major boost in his campaign against Hillary Clinton come the fall.